So, do I recommend a CBR600RR for a first-time rider? I would say no. And the reason why I say no is because there's so much more to learn in riding motorcycles than just being cool. A lot of the guys, they size you up on what size motorcycle you have. My advice to those that want to start riding a sports bike is, hey, learn how to ride your own ride and don't worry about what people tell you. When people starts to tell you that, their motorcycle is much larger than yours and much faster than yours, then they're probably just, BSing, and themselves are not very confident about their riding capabilities. So that's what my advice is. I don't advise the CBR600RR to be the first motorcycle, but don't get me wrong, there are people out there that can get on a CBR1000RR as this first motorcycle, ride it, and then tell everybody that it was no problem. Yes, that's very true. Riding a motorcycle is all about your skill, but those skills need to be developed. Riding motorcycles is about the throttle control. Yes, you can probably control a 180 horsepower motorcycle that's about 400 pounds light on a straightaways with just, not getting out of second or third gear, but you want to be able to develop and enjoy the actual reason why you have a sports bike. So by having to start in a smaller motorcycle where you don't have to worry about it shooting to the moon when you twist that throttle, is quite exhilarating. I actually prefer to ride smaller motorcycles because of the turns and curves up here in the mountains in Japan, and it's very nice to be able to just focus on that. There's a lot of guys out there that's so into the size of motorcycles. Often I would talk to someone and we start talking about the motorcycles we ride, and then more often than not, people that don't have motorcycles want something bigger than what you got. I have no idea where that comes from, but that's probably just men in particular. I don't size up people when it comes to motorcycle. In fact, I started riding, my very first motorcycle was like a 250 that I reappropriated from someone. Not stolen, but drove it down the road. It was a 4-speed and just get a good feel out of it. I don't know if you know those tricycles from the Philippines, tricycles they call it, with a cab on it, but something like that. One of my best friends, his grandfather had it in his garage, and out of just, I don't know what I was thinking, I took the keys and drove it down the street with his grandfather chasing me down the street. So it's quite an interesting story. My next motorcycle after that is a Marauder. The Suzuki Marauder, I think, is a 750. However, it's not a sports bike 750. This is a cruiser 750, so much slower than a sports bike. And I was able to learn so much from that motorcycle when it comes to the mannerisms of, just shifting, being able to brake properly, look on turns, and enjoy the motorcycle for what it is. After I've experienced that motorcycle for a little while, I took a break for about 10 years with not having to ride anything, and I decided to come back and ride a CB400. It was a 1997 CB400, quite powerful motorcycle. It's actually one of the best city bike that Honda's ever made, and I rode that for a little while, and again, just kind of relearned some of the good habits that I wanted to get back, and not the bad habits of riding a motorcycle. After I have gotten used to the CB400, then I upgraded to a CBR600RR. The power difference is quite significant, but this motorcycle, and I've talked about it before, it just makes you a better rider. You know, braking is better, the throttle response is so much better, and the balance of the motorcycle when it comes to turns is so much better. And I think it just makes you a better rider. You're able to focus on the challenges that you have on the road and keep yourself safe, you know, instead of focusing on the mannerisms of the motorcycle and all the challenges that it brings with you. It doesn't do that to me. It's very safe on the road. I'm at an age where I enjoy riding motorcycles and not racing up and down the road. Hey, that's all I have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and please comment down below and tell me what you think. Talk to you soon.